That being said, on with the show. Alright, I think I'm done. Let's go. I've been on the road for about 6 months now. Currently in Monterrey, hanging out, just trying to get this video done, you know? Get this video out there to be the first one, so I guess it's the hardest one. It's the one that's taken the longest. Definitely overthinking it. Still don't feel super comfortable in front of the camera, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm sure I'm going to appreciate recording myself and this whole entire trip when I'm 60, 40, 50, who knows, you know? Man, even my kids, grandkids, and you guys, my family, my loved ones, friends that I've met along the way. At least that way you guys could see what's going on, what I'm living through, and I think overall it'd be a great investment, great experience, and so here we are. We're going to make it happen. The initial videos that I started taking, like during that time, right when I was getting ready to leave, well, the recording kind of sucked. I was nervous and everything, and I might just like take some excerpts here and there. You know, as time goes on, I think, this channel is going to get better because I'm going to feel more comfortable because this is kind of outside of my comfort zone. But that's another reason for this trip, is just to push myself outside of my comfort zone completely. And so here we are. Prior to this, I was in Guadalajara for about a month and a half. I was helping out my uncle with he started doing a controls upgrade on a metal injector, and well, mechanically it never worked, and electrically it was all screwed up. And he had hired a lot of people to try to make this machine work, you know, and start making belt buckles for him. And 4 years later, dude, like, machine still wasn't running. The vendors, contractors were unreliable. His family, instead of being like, well, what he was telling me, instead of like encouraging him and, well, helping him out or whatever, morally or support, they're all like, well, what a waste of money. Why'd you even buy that machine? And like, oh, you know, well, you know, it was just bad news all over the place. So he's very invested into this machine, and it wasn't working. So when I showed up and he told me about it, and honestly, before I decided to quit my job, before I decided to quit my job, I remembered, my uncle told me about this machine that he was having issues with, and I was like, you know what? I've always really wanted to work in a shop. I love my uncle, love my family, even though we don't really talk too much. I'm like, well, pretty much what he needs is, well, a controls engineer. I'm like, I'm a licensed controls engineer. He's doing a controls upgrade on this machine. I mean, this is what I used to do for a living for a while. I was like, nah, man, it just makes sense. I was like, and it's like, well, I'm here to help, you know? I'm here to help. I'm living my dream. I want to help him live his dream. And I was like, it just made sense. So, make a long story short, I thought I was going to finish that machine in 2 to 3 weeks, and ultimately, it took about a month. Month and a half, but you know what? It is what it is. So, nah, man. So, like, yeah, finally got that machine done. Was like helped out my grandma with what I had said, what I had planned on doing. You know, I just wanted to help her on her garden. Like, my grandma loves gardening and things like that, but she's a little bit older, so she has limited mobility and so on and so forth. And she lives by herself. So I was like, you know what, let me go help her. Let's do some gardening, you know, build some like structures for her vines to, you know, guide her vines on there, because she loves flowers, she loves vines, she loves seeing like the birds come in the morning, and so I was like, I just really want to help her, you know, and make her happy. She's made me happy all my life. So, and I haven't seen her in a long time. So I was like, hell yeah, you never know. You never know when we're gonna go or they're gonna go. So, nah, just really glad I got time to spend some time with my grandma. And well, yeah, dude. So like, it just came to the point where I was like, I was done fixing the machine, I was done helping out grandma, and I was already getting stir crazy. I was like, man, I've been here in Guadalajara for like way too long. I was like, this trip is not. I started losing my mind, man. Like, I was just stuck in one spot again. And I was like, man, it's almost just as if I was at home again, working, going to work every day, which that's what it was. So then I just felt like, you know what, I just had to get out of it. I had to get out of that weird. I just felt like I left my life in LA to go live more or less the same life in Guadalajara, as far as the work goes and not being on the road. So I was like, nah, man, I need to get out of here. But I mean, I'm so happy and so glad I was able to help out my family, and I got closer to my uncles. I got closer to my aunts, closer to my cousins, got closer to my cousins. We went to Sayulita for a weekend. We got really, really fucked up, to be honest with you. But, I guess that's lo que pasa. Pero, nah, great times all around. Great times all around. It was time to go, and I was getting ready. I started packing my stuff, and started saying my goodbyes. And honestly, I didn't even know where the hell I was gonna go. I normally don't plan my route until like the morning of or the night before I leave, and so I really didn't know where I was going. And then I get a text message from my boy Macy Martinez, and he's like, "Hey, bro, where in Mexico are you?" I was like, "Oh man, I'm in Guadalajara." "Hey, how far are you from Mazatlán?" I was like, "I don't know." I looked it up. It was about 2 hours away. I was like, "Hey man, I'm like 2 hours away." Then he sent me a text. He's like, "Hey bro, well, I'm over here in Mazatlán for a party. We're having a party tomorrow. If you want to swing through, and you want to do the drive, come over." And I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, hell yeah, dude." I was like, I was like, man, it's like I already was saying I need to get the hell out of here. I was planning on leaving, and then all of a sudden Macy Martinez hits me up and says, "Hey, come party with us." And I was like, oh man, fuck yeah. It's like, hell yeah. I don't know, man. I was so pumped. I am still pretty pumped that it happened that way. It's great seeing old friends again. And I said, fuck yeah, man, I'll be there. The next day, helped out my grandma, did the grocery shopping, helped her out with whatever little last minute thing she had, left kind of like in the late afternoon, and made it to Ayotlan, dude, and kicked it with Macy and his brother-in-law, Ismael, or Junior, and his soon-to-be wife now. Congratulations to those two. So Junior proposed to his fiancée, or his girlfriend at the time, and now turned into fiancé. And so I guess you could say I crashed the party. I had a great time. I mean, the family was great. We ended up going to Walmart the next day and just chilled and kicked it there the whole week. That was cool. To make a long story short, it was a great way to start the trip. Then after that, I concluded, you know what? I gotta hit up every pueblo mágico que puedo. That morning, during breakfast, the day I departed, I was like looking at the map. What's the nearest pueblos mágicos to me? And I made my route right then and there. Check it out. just go chill at grandma's house one more night, sleep for free, get to see my grandma one more time, and then like head out the next day again. I decided to go to Nochistlán, Zacatecas. So I made it there. It was a beautiful ride, going by La Barranca y todo, like everything's super green. It was like the best, in my opinion, kind of like the best time to travel Mexico, because it was kind of rainy, but at least right now it's not raining as often as it was like last month. And well, everything's green, dude. Green, clear skies. It's just beautiful, and well, everyone's really friendly for the most part too. So then I made it to Nochistlán, and was like, I need to go take a picture of myself in the motorcycle at some famous site or something, or a famous church. Or I went downtown to El Centro in La Plaza allí, where they have some beautiful churches. Make a long story short, so I get there to El Centro, and then I parked my motorcycle on a pedestrian walkway right in front of a church to take a picture. I lollygagged it a little bit too much. I was thinking about recording something and saying something or whatever, but like I said, I just get nervous. So I said, whatever. And I played with my phone for a little bit, and then all of a sudden I see like the cops come, dude. I'm like, fuck. I try to leave, but not really. And then, I don't try too hard to leave, in other words. And then the cops come. And then they stopped me, and then they're like, hey, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, I didn't know, man. I didn't see a sign. I didn't see this. And it's just like, they had like a little big-ass driveway to come up and everything, and it's empty. It's like, no, you could hurt someone. No, get off the bike and this, and that. And we were like, we're taking you in. And I was like, what the? Taking me in. I was like, geez, dude, nah, why don't you just let me go? Like, I messed up. I'm sorry, this, and that. Just, sorry, dude. Like, and I was being really nice. And then he was like, no, we're taking you in. Looking at him, and yeah, they were all in blue. But then, like, they had nothing that said cops. No había nada que decía policía ni nada. Y nomás, pues, one dude had, like, a patch of the Punisher. And then on the other shoulder he had like a patch of like a stuffed animal with X's on the eyes, and nothing said cops, and they had guns. And then the other fool had like, I don't know, he had some, I don't know what the hell he had. Nah, he had nothing. He was just all in blue too with a gun and stuff. And I was like, geez. And I was like, man, I hear stories about like people like pretending to be cops, and then like taking you places and you're never seen again, or they rob you, or they beat you, or something like that. And I was like, nah, man. And then I told them, no, I'm not going. So then I got on my motorcycle again, and they was like, get off your motorcycle, and this, and that, okay, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, nah, man, like, nah. He's like, we're detaining you. I was like, nah, man, like, I don't even know if you guys are cops. He's like, what? What do you mean we're cops? I was like, nah, but there's nothing that says you're a cop on you, this, and that. And he was like, make a long story short, I was freaked the fuck out. I called 911, dude. And, I don't know. Make a long story short, he called for backup, and the sergeant guy came in, and then I was like, okay, at least he showed up in a truck that said, policía municipal. I was like, well, all right, well, that's straight up a cop, I guess. Even though his uniform didn't say a cop either. So yeah, they made me follow him to the jailhouse, man. And make a long story short, they wanted 1,000 pesos, or they wanted to put me in jail for 48 hours. And so after some discussion and kind of arguing, I talked them down to 500. And I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty scared, but I knew I was like getting taken advantage of too. So then it's Mexico. I signed up for it. I knew what I signed up for, so it was just hadn't happened to me yet. This video has taken me way longer than expected, but I wanted to take you from restarting the trip, going all the way to Monterrey. I'm traveling for the past week, and I'm barely telling the tale from like 2 weeks ago. So, you know what? I'm just gonna fast forward this and just slap a bunch of clips together and just put some music on there, and then just call it a day. Golden.